Show me! How long are you going to take? What time are you coming home? What are you doing with Skylar? It's already this late. Where have you been all morning? You didn't even come home to make lunch.
I've been at the hospital to have a checkup. I reminded you when I left this morning, didn't I? And I think I told you that I would have this checkup a week ago when I made the appointment. I mentioned that I wouldn't be able to prepare lunch for you. I'm thinking of going to my parents' house to let them see Skylar. I'll spend a few hours there, and hopefully Skylar will be able to have a nap before I come home.
Skylar was only born last week. You can't parade her about outside all day. You've got to bring her home right now. It's already this late. I can't believe you could be so irresponsible. Don't you care about Skylar at all? She could get sick.
This late? It's still 1:30. And there's no need to be so overprotective. I've taken precautions for the sunlight, and we're only going to see my parents. It's not like I'm taking her to meet everyone I know or pushing her pram through a crowd of sick people. I'm following the doctor's advice and making sure she has undisturbed rest and gets her milk. I wouldn't do anything that I didn't think we both can't manage.
But you can't keep her away from me this long. She's already been away from me for 3 hours. Skylar needs me. You can't do this to her. Give her back to me.
What are you talking about? She's not a thing, and she's not yours.
I've decided that I'll raise Skylar myself. I can't trust you with her. I've watched how you've been with her for the past week, and it's obvious that you're no good as a mother. You don't know how to take care of her. If you raise her, she'll end up unhappy. Or worse, she'll be unhappy and she'll be rebellious. It's people like you that end up raising criminals. I can't just stand by and watch you ruin her life. The best thing for Skylar is if you give her up. I'll raise her as my own daughter. She's mine, so give her back.
Skylar's my first child, so of course I don't expect to be able to do things perfectly all by myself. That's why I've been listening to all the advice you've been giving me this week. And I'm really happy that you're helping, but no matter what I do, you keep on complaining that I'm doing things wrong.
So that's what you're thinking of me. I'm doing my best to help you. How can you be so ungrateful? I bet you think that I'm in the way, don't you? You're the one that's living in my house. I'm letting you stay here. I'm providing the roof over your head, and I don't even ask for rent. I've done so much for you, and this is how you repay me? This is why I never approved of Daniel marrying a woman like you.
You were the one that asked that we move in with you. Daniel and I were living together in our own house after we got married, and we planned to stay there. But you wanted us to all live together. You were the one that said you always wanted to live with your grandchild. You pretty much forced us to move in with you once you found out that I was pregnant, and I had to go through all the trouble of moving house when I was already really big.
Why do you have to put it like that? I never forced anything. Just ask Daniel. He was delighted to move back in with us. I've done so much for you. It wouldn't hurt for you to show a little more appreciation, too. Can't you at least say thank you? I think I deserve a lot more, but I shouldn't expect anything from you.
Appreciation? I had a lot more of that when I first met you. But ever since I married your son, and you started to show your true colors, it's become a lot more difficult. Especially after we moved in together, and you wouldn't stop making hurtful comments about the way I did chores and the way I prepared dinner. The stress and fatigue just piled up, and I couldn't please you no matter what I did.
I didn't know you could get any ruder. When have I ever made hurtful comments about anything you've ever done? If I've made comments, it's just because I'm giving you advice as your senior in life. If you think I've been hurtful, it's because you're trying to make me out as the bad person in this story.
I'm an adult too. I understand the difference between advice and sarcastic, backhanded comments. And it's not just those comments. You don't like the food I make, even though I've done my best to follow your recipes. And if you really don't like my cooking, then you can always make your own. but you insist on having me prepare your serving too. And sometimes you throw it all away right in front of me. It's not just insulting, it's wasteful. Did you really think that I could just brush that off as advice? I don't understand how you could do something so mean just for the sake of showing me you don't like my cooking.
I threw it away because it didn't taste good. What's the problem? Did you really think that it was good enough to serve to Daniel and my husband? Nobody would want to eat something disgusting like that, so I saved them the trouble. I just did what they would have wanted to do anyway. If anything, you should be thanking me for not letting them eat something as horrible as that slop you call food.
That's what I'm talking about. In the past few months we've spent living together, you've never eaten my food without making a face, a comment, or throwing it away. On top of that, you were making me do all of the housework right up until the birth. I couldn't have a moment's rest while you were around, even though my back hurt and my feet hurt and I was so tired. Even when my contractions started and I was begging you to call for an ambulance because Daniel was out, you wouldn't call and told me that I was overreacting. I couldn't even get to the phone myself. I thought I was going to give birth right where I was. It wasn't until Robert passed by my room and noticed that my water had broken that I was finally able to go to the hospital. I'm grateful for my father-in-law's care and consideration. But if you want me to be grateful for you, then you'll have to do something I can be grateful for first.
You shouldn't expect everyone to do everything for you. You could have gone to the hospital by yourself. You're so spoiled. It shows that your parents must have been overly protective of you as a child. No wonder you're so disrespectful towards me.
Did you really think that I could drive all the way to the hospital safely when I was getting contractions every 5 minutes? Even after I gave birth, you didn't say anything to me. You didn't ask me how I was doing. Not even a word about how well I had done, even though I was in labor for 15 hours.
I was too busy thinking about Skylar. What did you expect? My first and only priority was the baby. So what if you gave birth? It's nothing special. I gave birth too, and you don't see me begging everyone for praise and compliments.
I didn't expect you to compliment me. But I think anybody would be happy to hear something from family. And anything would have done. And I'd like to remind you that I was only discharged from the hospital a week ago. I've been waking up over and over in the middle of the night to feed Skylar. I haven't had any sleep at all this past week. I'm still trying to get used to a lot of new things, a lot of new emotions, and a new sleep routine. And I'm literally all over the place. But you're still making me do all the housework. I thought you said that it would be better for us all to live together because you'd be able to help out with the baby. But you haven't been doing anything. Even though Daniel and his dad say that I don't have to do anything, to rest when I can and not to push myself too hard, I have to do everything while they're at work because you won't do anything.
Oh, you really are spoiled. You are the one that married my son, not the other way around. What's the point in having you here if you're not going to do the chores? You can't seriously think that you can spend your days just laying around doing nothing. You're being childish if you think that's how things work just because you've moved in with us. I'm here to be with Skylar, not with you. And you shouldn't expect everyone to be nice and kind to you just because you've given birth. So what? That doesn't change anything. You're sorely mistaken if you think you get to slack off just because you've had a baby. The only one we all care about is Skylar. I couldn't care less about you, and nobody else does either. We only need Skylar.
I can't believe you're not gonna even bother to hold back your punches. I take it you mean that there's no use for me at your house if I'm not going to do all of your housework for you?
That's right. I'm glad you finally understand. We only need Skylar to make us happy. I don't need a rude, disrespectful, annoying daughter-in-law like you around the house if you're not even going to do what you're here for. Even if you did do the chores and prepare our food, you're so useless I end up having to redo everything you do anyway. You're just wasting my time, and having you here is a waste of space too, so we don't need you here.
So you think I'm rude and useless? All right.
What, am I wrong? I don't think I said anything you couldn't understand. I made it quite clear. We don't need you in this house. To be honest, I'd prefer if you'd leave as soon as possible and never come back. You don't have to worry about Skylar, she'll be in good hands. We'll raise her without you. I think that's best for her as well. She doesn't need a useless woman like you as her mother.
I just want to check. If you want me to leave, then that means you don't want to live with me, doesn't it?
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't want to live with you, and I want you out of my house, do you understand?
Yes, I do. I understood that perfectly. Then I won't be coming back. I'll be staying at my parents' house. They've got a spare room that I can use, so there's no reason for me to return today. I'll go and get my things another day. Will that make you happy?
Of course, do whatever you want. You're an adult. I don't care where you stay as long as it's not in my house. Nobody in this house is waiting for you to return anyway. I'll have Daniel go and collect Skylar from you when he gets home from work, so make sure she's had her rest and you've got all her things ready by then. I'll let you spend these last few hours with her at least. You're not going to come back to this house, so this will be the last time you ever see her. I'm glad you've finally come to your senses. You're not fit to be a mother.
I understood the part about not coming back to stay in your house, but you're wrong about one thing. I am not handing my daughter over to you. Skylar is staying with me. I'm her mother.
What are you talking about? I just told you that you're not fit to be a mother. Are you going to take her away from me? You can't do that. She needs me.
Oh, you think that I'm not fit to be a mother because I need support to raise her and because I can't handle all of the housework on just 1 hour of sleep a night? You expect the impossible from me. You're saying that I'm taking her away from you, but you're not her mother. She was never yours to begin with.
She's my granddaughter. That makes her mine.
I don't think that your way of thinking that she belongs to you is very healthy for Skylar. I don't think that raising her in an environment where you think that you can treat me however you like is good for her either. Daniel and Robert have both lost their patience with the way you've been treating me. I know that the both of them have done their best to talk with you privately and get you to change your attitude. But it still hasn't changed after months. And if it's only going to get worse now that Skylar's born, I'd rather not live with you either. Your own son and husband have given up on getting you to change your ways, so there's no way I can keep hoping.
Robert as well? You're lying. I remember him mentioning something about you, but I've forgotten what he said. It didn't seem very important. But I know that they all hate you. Nobody wants you to stay in our house, and we're all happy that you've finally given birth so we can get rid of you and keep Skylar.
Who's they? Do you mean Daniel and Robert? Because I know Daniel loves me, and Robert is a wonderful father-in-law. And even if they did actually hate me, I think they'd be more mature about it. You've been far from mature these past few months. You've been passive-aggressive and childish at best. All you've done is bully me and make me feel bad about myself. I've had enough. We've all had enough of your behavior. If you're not going to fix it, then there's no point sticking around and waiting for you to change. I'm not returning to your house. And if you won't reflect on your actions, I won't let you meet Skylar.
You won't let me see Skylar? That's ridiculous. You can't do that. You can't keep her away from me. You have no right to do that. I'm not going to listen to a woman that can't even raise a child properly. You don't have to come back, but I'm not letting you keep Skylar. Give her back right now. Skylar will be happier that way, and you'll thank me one day when you realize that. She belongs with us, not you. We'll raise her, so don't be so selfish and give her up.
I'm sorry, but who's we?
Daniel, Robert, and I. The three of us will raise her without you. I know that we can make Skylar a million times happier if you're not around to ruin her life. She doesn't need a failure of a mother like you. You should give her back to me for her sake.
Robert's actually with me right now. Daniel will be here soon too. He's already asked his manager for the rest of the day off after he's finished in his meeting. The truth is, it wasn't a hospital appointment I had this morning. I'm sorry I had to lie, but you wouldn't let me leave the house until I said that I would be going to the hospital.
What? Then where were you? What were you doing?
I was being honest when I told you that I would be going to my parents' house, but I was somewhere else this morning. I went to have a viewing of a house with Robert to get his opinion.
You went to see a house? But why would you do that? I didn't tell you to leave my house until an hour ago. And why would you need my husband's opinion?
Daniel and I have decided that we're going to move out. And when we told him, Robert was very interested in the idea too. Maybe you should ask him for the details when he returns home tonight, since I won't be coming back. Ever.
But why would Robert be interested in looking at a new home?
Daniel and I have been thinking about moving back out, ever since we first moved in with you and you started to bully me. We've both hit our limits, and we can't take it anymore. It's too stressful being with you all day, every day, and he doesn't complain. But I know it's tough on Daniel when I vent after he's had a long day at work. It's been hard for the both of us. The only reason why we didn't move out earlier is because it was a strain on my body to move our stuff to your house in the first place, and we didn't want to go through that again.
Hit your limits? Stressful? What's that supposed to mean? You're just exaggerating. How pathetic. All I'm doing is showing you how to do things properly.
Daniel's had enough of your behavior too. He can't stand the way you speak to me, and he knows that you've been throwing away the food I make as well. He knows about how you follow me around when I do the laundry and the washing up, nitpicking at every single thing. He promised me that we would make preparations so that we can move out as soon as the baby is born. And he kept that promise. He found a few places that were open for viewing and cut the choices down to 2 places so I wouldn't have to go back and forth. When we spoke to Robert, he offered to pay half of the deposit, saying that he wanted to come with us.
Excuse me? Robert wants to move out? Well, he was obviously including me when he said that.
He meant that he wanted to move in with us and move away from you. Apparently, he's had enough of your attitude as well. And since you won't change, no matter how many times he's spoken to you, he's decided to leave you. He's telling me that he left the divorce papers on the table in the living room. Have you seen them? He says that he's already signed them, so you just have to sign your side and leave them there. He'll have them filed tomorrow.
I found them, but I don't understand. Why would he want to divorce me? I haven't done anything to deserve this. Answer the phone! I want to speak to my husband! He's with you, isn't he? Let me talk to him. I can't trust a word you say.
Why would I lie? Those papers have already been signed, haven't they? I wouldn't fake his signature just to trick you. Robert says that he'll talk to you when he gets home, but that he's already made his feelings clear in past conversations. You just haven't been listening to him properly. Anyway, we're busy getting our new home ready. Could you wait until later?
I don't understand why Robert and Daniel have to move away too. I only said that you don't need to come home. What about me? What am I supposed to do? They can't leave me here by myself?
Robert says that he'll give you that house in the divorce. He has no need for it if he's moving in with us, and he doesn't want you causing us trouble just because you can't find a new home for yourself. You're lucky he's being so generous. Daniel and I have no intention of living with you ever again. And of course, we're not going to give you our daughter. Robert's decided that he wants a divorce, and that he doesn't want to live with you anymore. I think that explains everything you want to know.
What about me? I'm going to live here all by myself? You're not making any sense. Why can't I come with you?
Weren't you listening to what I said? We've told you over and over that the way you've been treating me is unacceptable. We wouldn't have had to do this if you had fixed up your attitude and stopped behaving so immaturely. If you had listened to your own husband's warnings and your son asking you to stop treating me so horribly, we would have never decided to move out. We would still be living with you, and you would still be able to spend time with your loved ones. But unfortunately, you haven't shown any signs of changing or even feeling bad about what you've done. You deny all responsibility, and we've had enough. Because of your selfishness, you'll have to spend the rest of your life all alone.
What about Daniel? What does he think? He can't be serious about leaving his own mother all alone. I raised him. He's better than that. He would never abandon me like this. You've tricked him into thinking I'm the bad person and convinced him and my husband to follow you.
Have you forgotten that Daniel was the one that was always intervening and defending me from you when we first moved in? He was doing his best to keep himself between you and I when he could, and making sure that I wasn't stuck with you alone when he was at home. But then he had to start a new project at work, and was coming home tired more often, and didn't even have the strength to argue back the things you were saying to me. The stress of work and your treatment of me was accumulating for him too. That's when he promised that he would find us a new place to live. We realized that the best way to deal with the situation was to just put space between us and you, for the sake of our physical and our mental health.
You're lying. Daniel would never want to leave me. And Robert can't be serious about getting a divorce. At this age, I'll never be able to get remarried. I'll be alone. Can't he rethink the divorce? I'll do anything. He's not honestly thinking we should get divorced, is he?
You'll have to talk to Robert directly about that. Though he says that there's nothing more to say. And we've already chosen a new home that has enough room for the three of us and Skylar. Robert is welcome to live with us, but there's no room here for you. Moreover, Robert's actually put a lot of money into this house for us. He's been very considerate, since Daniel and I had to pay a lot for the hospital bills last week. We don't plan on telling you where our new address is either.
But I'll never be able to see Skylar ever again. Are you honestly going to separate us?
I'm not going to let you see her. You'll have to show that you can change first. I don't know if you can, but if you want to see her, you'll have to. I don't plan on meeting you until then either. I'm sure you don't care whether you see me again or not, but I just wanted to make it clear that this is what happens when you treat someone as though they're inferior to you. You end up alone.
What did I do to deserve this? Why is everyone leaving me behind? You're telling me that I have to spend the rest of my life, my elderly years, all alone? That's too much. You don't have to go this far. I thought I would be able to spend the last 20 years of my life taking care of my grandchild. I wanted to have peace and quiet and not worry about any of the chores or worry about money. This isn't what I wanted. I was dreaming of my life as a grandmother, but now I'll have to get a job. I have to do everything myself. I won't be able to see my family. That's not fair.
Really? I guess you hoped that I would be the one to take care of all the chores and plan to live off your husband's savings and pension, all without lifting a finger yourself. But you ended up breaking that dream with your own hands. You should have been more respectful towards the people around you if you wanted them to love and take care of you. I am tired of you complaining about every little thing I do. But now, you'll have to do everything yourself, and you won't be able to see your family ever again. That's the price you've paid. You'll have to accept it.
Fine, I understand I made a mistake. I shouldn't have been so nagging. I'll do my best to get on with you from now on. I'll change the way I've been acting towards you. So please don't move out.
It's too late for that. We've already paid the deposit and signed the documents for the house. We won't change our minds about living away from you. And we'll be moving all of our things into the new place over the next few days. We're all going to live here in peace without you. Robert will be returning to your house this evening to pack up our essentials, so you should have a good long talk with him then. He'll be staying there until all of our things have been moved. But he's quite adamant about having the divorce, so I suggest you forget about talking him out of it, and talk about how you can make an effort to change your behavior. That way, you might have a chance to meet Skylar in the future.
Naomi, I'm sorry. Let's all live together. I don't want to be alone. I think we might have gotten off to a bad start, but I'll change. I'll do whatever it takes. I'm sure you'll come to understand why I was so harsh towards you. It was for your sake, but I won't do that anymore. Just let me see Skylar.
I find it hard to believe that you'll change when you're still making excuses. You can't even apologize properly. It's too late after all. You can't change. Besides, you were saying yourself that you don't want to live with me, remember? I confirmed over and over, and you said that you wanted me to leave. Well, I don't want to live with you either. I hope you'll enjoy your final years without a rude, useless woman like me in the way. After her conversation with Naomi ended, Kim had no choice but to wait for her husband to come home. The first thing Robert did when he returned to the house was to tell Kim that he wanted a divorce, and that he wasn't going to change his mind. He checked that she had signed the papers and took them to his lawyer to have them filed. He didn't speak a word to Kim after that, and spent his time packing away all of his things. Anything that had to be dealt with regarding the divorce was done through his lawyer, and he was able to move houses without much fuss. Kim got the house in the divorce, but it was brought to her lawyer's attention that she had spent Robert's savings on several occasions without his permission, and as a result, the amount she received in alimony payments decreased significantly. It wasn't enough for her to keep up the payments for the household bills, so she had to find a job in order to earn some money to pay for other essentials. She was so desperate to meet Skylar that she went to Naomi's parents' house and demanded that they tell her Naomi's new address. It didn't occur to her that she should have just shown Naomi that she was making an effort to change. In the end, Naomi's parents called the police because of how aggressive Kim was being, and Kim was taken away in a police car to be questioned. Kim was not only divorced and looking for a job, but had also been slapped with a restraining order from Naomi's parents. On the other hand, Naomi and Daniel were living happily ever after with their small family and were looking forward to having their next child. Robert was delighted he was freed of his selfish wife and was taking great pleasure in taking care of his granddaughter.
I saw what you made for lunch. Can't you put in a little more effort? I spoke to my wife about it, but she says that you've been nothing but lazy all these days. Why are you making my wife do all the laundry? She's not your maid. We're letting you live under our roof, and I think that you should show gratitude by helping with the housework.
I'm sorry that you feel that way. I have really bad morning sickness, and it's difficult for me to get out of bed. Your wife has been helping me since I'm not well enough to do any housework.
Being pregnant doesn't give you the excuse to stay in bed all day. Pregnant women are so entitled. I'm a senior, but they still expect me to give up my seat on the train for them. I feel them staring at me, but I never give in. I'm old and I should be allowed to sit down if I'm tired. Having a baby inside your belly doesn't make you any more important.
Well, I'm sure that the health condition of each pregnant woman differs, so it's hard to say, but there are times when we feel so sick that it's nice when someone offers us their seat on the train or on the bus.
I mean, most women experience pregnancy, so it must not be that hard, right? You shouldn't be making such a big deal out of your pregnancy. It makes you look stupid.
Do you have to put it that way? I'm hurt by your words.
We're letting you live with us. I think that I have the right to tell you how I feel. My wife can't say no because she's too nice, but I think that you should take her for granted. You shouldn't make her do all the work by herself.
I'm sorry to have to say this, but I don't think I'm the only one making your wife do everything. Don't you think that you could offer to help her as well?
How could you say such a thing to me?
Your wife has a job too, so she can't do the housework all by herself. Whenever I see the two of you, you make your wife do everything for you. I did help out before I got pregnant, but right now I'm really not feeling very well. My obstetrician told me to take it easy and not to work very hard. I do feel bad about not being able to help out around the house, but I don't think that you're in a position to call me out like this.
What the hell? You're being very disrespectful to me right now. Besides, it's my wife's job to take good care of me. We're married.
Then why do you expect me to take care of you too?
What?
I'm married to your son, so shouldn't my main job be to take care of your son? We may be living with you now, but it's temporary. I didn't think that you'd give me such a hard time. I know that right now I'm more of a nuisance than help, but don't you want me to take care of my health? I don't think that I'm causing any inconvenience to you.
You're just using your pregnancy as an excuse to not help out. I'm sure that you could if you wanted to.
How can you make these assumptions about me? You have no idea how bad my morning sickness is. Only a person who's experienced pregnancy firsthand knows what it's really like.
I'm a man. I can't get pregnant even if I wanted to.
I know that, but I'm just saying that as a man, you can't begin to understand what being pregnant really means. You shouldn't get angry with me over something so small as me taking it easy during my pregnancy.
I'm not angry. I'm just asking you to help out my wife more and be considerate. At the very least, you should do your own laundry.
You are angry, I can tell, but why do you need to be so angry?
Huh?
You tell me not to be lazy, but I'm not being lazy. I'm being a responsible mother by resting and making sure that there's no harm to my baby. And even if I were being lazy, that's my choice, and you don't have the right to make me act a certain way. You don't control me.
I do have a say. You're living under my roof, and so you should do as I say. Why should my wife have to work so hard just because you don't want to do your share of the housework? I'm sure that you have the energy to wash the dishes.
You act like you're getting angry for your wife, but are you sure that this is what she really wants? I feel like you're the one that's angry with me because you can't control me like you want to. Have you ever considered that your wife is a caring and understanding person who genuinely wants to help me out during my pregnancy?
Don't patronize me. You're starting to irritate me. If you want to continue living with us, I suggest that you get out of bed and take care of your own chores.
Well, how come you don't do any of the chores then? Do you enjoy bullying me? Does it make you feel more important than me?
Do you think that I'm picking on you because you're pregnant? Because I'm not! I'm simply trying to get you to take some responsibility for what's expected of you.
Since I'm living under your roof, I'll try not to get on your nerves so much then.
Good, because you should wash your own dishes after you use them. And don't rely on my wife so much. Do what you can on your own.
Okay, understood.
If I see you lazing around my house again, I'm going to kick you out.
I'll be careful then. I need to go now because there's something I need to take care of.
Has my dad been giving you a hard time? I'm so sorry about this. Mom says sorry too.
It's okay. It's neither you or your mother's fault. Your mother apologized to me earlier. She's been taking really good care of me ever since I got pregnant, and I'm really grateful to her. I realized that your father was doing all of this on his own and had nothing to do with your mother.
I'm glad to know that you're not letting it upset you. My mom was worried that my dad was stressing you out. She thought that maybe it would be better if we didn't live under the same roof anymore.
She has a point, but I guess right now it's not the best time to move out. We don't really have time to look for a new place to live. And I plan on staying with my parents during the last month of my pregnancy, so you don't need to worry about me. I'll try to stay under the radar until then. I feel bad for your mother, though. Your father makes her do everything.
Yes, I know. I told Mom not to overwork herself.
She says that she's okay, but I feel like she pushes herself too hard sometimes. I know that I'm not much help right now, but I do want her to know that I'm here for her in case she ever needs me.
It'll make my mom happy to know that you said that. But for now, I want you to concentrate on your health and your pregnancy. I'll take care of Mom.
Yes, thank you, Ted.
Melanie, I need your help!
What's wrong, Ted?
My dad is in the hospital.
Is he all right? Which hospital is he staying at?
His condition is stable for now, but it seems like he's really sick and he needs to be nursed. At one point, we thought that we were gonna lose him.
Oh, that's terrible.
And my mom, she didn't react in the way that I predicted. I'm quite shocked, to be honest.
What do you mean?
When are you coming home? Did Ted tell you about my condition?
Yes, he told me. I hope that you're feeling better. I plan on staying with my parents a little longer.
My wife can't take care of me on her own, so I need you to come home and help out.
I'm sorry, but I don't think that I can. But I'll eventually, so please wait a little longer. I also understand that you're not well, but that doesn't make me want to come home sooner. I have other priorities.
How can you say that?
I don't think that I can be of any help. Besides, I need to take care of my 2-month-old baby. I don't have the time to take care of you. I'm sure that you don't want to live under the same roof as a newborn baby. They cry a lot.
Can't you have your parents take care of the baby? Don't you think that attending to me is more important? I'm the one that's sick here.
Huh? What makes you think that I'd prioritize you over my baby?
I'm not asking for your opinion. As Ted's wife, it's your obligation to take care of me. Besides, your baby is perfectly healthy. You don't need to take care of it.
You're crazy! Of course my baby needs me. In what world would I leave my baby to take care of you? I don't even like you. You're not making any sense right now.
What's your point?
You just don't get it. You're delusional.
I don't think that I'm crazy like you.
You're asking me to come take care of you and leave my baby with my parents. That's pretty crazy. Weren't you the one that said that we have to take care of ourselves? Don't use your illness as an excuse to laze around the house. That was exactly what you said to me when I was pregnant.
Huh?
I don't think you can say anything back to that because you're the one that made this rule up.
We're so not in the same situation. Pregnancy is not a sickness.
Okay, so maybe it's not exactly the same, but I'm going to react in the same way that you did when I was pregnant. I'd rather die than take care of an old, ill-tempered man like you.
How dare you, Melanie? You ungrateful bitch. I should have never let you under my roof or marry my son. What will Ted think when he hears this from me?
I think that he'd take my side, so I'm not worried. I'm grateful that you let us live with you, but I'm mostly thankful to your wife because she was the one that took care of me when I was pregnant. But it's not like we lived with you for free. We paid a very generous sum to you. I don't think that you have the right to be so condescending. Don't you understand why your wife doesn't want to take care of you?
Oh, so you heard about that too. I've been taking care of her financially all these years, and she decides to turn on me when I need her the most. I'm really angry with her too. I mean, I could just kick her out of the house if I really wanted to.
Actually, I think that that's a good idea. Why don't you suggest that to your wife? But I think that you need her more right now than she needs you. You couldn't take care of yourself before, but now that you're sick, you need your family more than ever. I don't think this is the time for you to be picking a fight.
You're so despicable to me. I'm the man of the house. Don't you know how hard I work to support my wife and Ted?
I don't, and it's really none of my concern.
How can you say that?
Your wife has been working part-time for a long time now because you didn't earn enough money to support the family. And now she's been promoted and is working full-time. On top of that, she does all the housework all by herself. She's been nothing but a great wife to you. You're the one that's being ungrateful.
She's my wife. It's her job to take care of me.
Then I suggest you start earning more money and start doing your job as her husband.
What's your problem? This is between my wife and I. Stay out of it.
I was just trying to get you to see things from a bigger perspective. You only see things your way, it seems.
So when are you coming back here? My wife isn't willing to take care of me, so I need you to come home ASAP and take care of me. I don't understand why she won't. I'm pretty sure that she's trying to put me in a retirement home, but I'd rather live in my own house.
I think that it's best for everyone if you moved into a retirement home. I mean, we can help you cover the costs. We're more than happy to. I don't think that your wife wants to live with you anymore. She'd be much happier on her own.
So, she told you about her plans then? I want her to take care of me at home. Doesn't anyone care about what I want?
All you talk about is what you want. How about you start thinking about what your family wants as well? Your wife doesn't want to take care of you, and neither do I. And even if you don't end up in a retirement home, your wife plans to hire a professional to take care of you at home. Ted and I are in complete agreement with your wife and will fully support her decision. And Ted and I don't plan on living with you anymore either.
What?
Ted's being relocated to an overseas office where we won't be back to Japan for several years.
How come no one ever mentioned this to me before?
Did we need to? We knew that you were going to oppose the idea. The only reason why we were living with you during my pregnancy was because there was no point in renewing our lease if we were eventually going to move overseas. Your wife was kind enough to let us live with you, and I was planning on having the baby close to my parents' house, so we never got along, but because I knew that we weren't going to be living with you long term, I was able to put up with your bullying.
I never bullied you.
You're the only one that seems to think so. I'm off now. I won't be seeing you for a long time now. Adios. Please say hi to your wife for me.
Hold on a second. Are you really moving overseas? Don't think that you can get away with not taking care of me.
I'm busy taking care of my baby, so there's no way that I have any time to spare for you. Good luck fighting your illness, but not for too long because you don't want to be a burden to your wife. Goodbye now. Ted and Melanie moved to the U.S. the following month with their newborn baby. Ted's father was very grumpy because his wife refused to care for him. In the end, he had no choice but to move into a retirement home. After Ted's father moved out of the house, Ted's mother was relieved and could spend her time as she wanted. She flew to the U.S. to spend time with Ted, Melanie, and her grandchild. For Ted's mother, it was the start of a new and exciting chapter in her life.
Hey, good afternoon, Kathleen. How are you doing? Have you finished off the work for today? Wrapped everything up?
Yeah, I have. I've been done for a little while now. Why? Did you need something from me, Sandra?
Oh, just checking up on you to see how you're doing. So, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking me. This is about Mom, right? That's why you're asking me?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You saw right through me. I was really worried about what's going on there after everything, you know.
Oh, thank you so much for your concern. It was definitely shocking for sure, with my mother's passing and whatnot, you know? But I've really bounced back now and I'm doing much better, so we've already finished cleaning up around the house and everything. Everything's already been sorted and whatnot.
Yeah, so about that, you're gonna be okay with Charles taking over the house? That's not gonna be a problem, right?
Excuse me? Have you not spoken to my brother yet?
Well, actually, he's been going away on business trips for quite some time now. I don't have much time to really sit down and talk to him at all, but I mean, he's the older brother, so that should be the way things go, right?
I mean, that's true, but he's always away on business, just like you said. That's why he didn't really want to bother doing anything with the paperwork and whatnot, so I was going to do all of the paperwork for him to take over all of the inheritance. We already agreed that I would be handling all of that.
Excuse me? Handling all of that? What the hell are you talking about? Why is that already being pushed forward? I didn't even hear about this story at all.
Well, we were all at our mother's funeral. I spoke to my brother and discussed everything with him. You said that you had to be somewhere because you had something to do and to take care of. So you left midway through, which is probably why you didn't notice us talking.
Was that what happened? I don't really remember anymore. But I really don't think that you should just sell everything. That's literally the worst idea I've heard in a long time.
Pardon me?
It's literally a really valuable house that's built on great land. Why would you two just get rid of it all? And that brings up the question of, if you are going to get rid of it, who's going to be taking all of the money from the sales? I'm sure you're planning on taking it all and keeping it to yourself, right, Kathleen? That's not gonna fly at all, okay? The eldest son, Charles, is the one that deserves to take all of the money from the house.
I've already spoken to Charles about all of that, you know? Is it alright if you just listen to everything he has to say from now on? I've already settled everything with him and he's already aware and agreed. And just because I take the inheritance doesn't mean that it's all free. It still costs a lot of money in taxes. I literally can't live in that big house all by myself anyway. It's just going to be a waste of money, you know? It's just going to be way too much work paying for taxes every year all alone. That's why we both agreed to sell the house.
I'm never going to let that happen, you understand? I'm going to move from my house, and I'm going to start living in that house. Actually, that was the plan from the get-go anyway, so I don't know why he agreed to that. We're going to be terminating our lease this month anyway.
Wait, what? Hang on. Are you talking about the place that you're living in now?
Yeah, the place you've been before. We were actually coming up on a renewal soon. Next month was the last month of our contract, so...
Okay, and?
And it costs money to renew the contract, you understand? If I just live over there in that house, then I don't need to pay rent, right? It's literally free. That's why I've decided that we need to move out of this dinky little apartment and move into that nice house. So please, just don't go selling the house all on your own like that. You're seriously going to be causing me a headache.
I mean, I'm sorry for causing you a headache, but I really didn't hear anything from my brother about you all coming over here to live in this house.
I just told you a second ago. Literally just now. Is there a problem here, Kathleen? You're starting to annoy me. This shouldn't be an issue to begin with. That house is literally basically Charles's birthright. So I'm gonna be living in that house, you understand? Which means you need to pack your things and get out of that house.
Pardon me? What do you mean?
I mean, I need you to be out of the house by the end of the month. I'm going to be moving in, and I'm going to be bringing Carl with me too.
Have you already spoken to my brother about this? Or was this all decided on your own?
No, I haven't talked to Charles about any of this, but to be fair, he's going to agree with this decision anyway. I mean, come on, he's gotta like having a bigger house. It's better for the kids too. Have you thought about that at all?
Okay, I was planning on leaving anyway, but just because you live here and you don't have to pay for rent doesn't mean that it's going to be any cheaper than it is now. It's still going to cost a lot of money for electricity and whatnot because it's just an older house. That's why I'm staying at this house for now, but I'm going to sell it and get rid of it because it's too outdated to even renovate.
Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. Just be honest with me for a second, Kathleen. You're just upset and jealous that Charles and I are gonna be taking your parents' house, right?
That's not what I'm saying at all. You're seriously going to be hard-pressed living here, Sandra. You really need to talk to my brother about everything because this is starting to get out of hand.
I've already reserved a day for the movers to take all our stuff to that house, so... Sorry to break it to you, but you're gonna have to leave by the end of the month. If you're that dead set on staying there, then can you be sure to watch Carl for me? If you're okay with watching Carl for me, I'll be okay with you just staying in my house.
I'm sorry to break it to you, Sandra, but the house is already my house. It's not even my parents' home anymore. And we've already found a real estate agent that's willing to put this house up for sale. It's already all been decided and there's no going back now. The fact that you're bringing this up right now, after all this time, kind of makes me think that maybe there's another reason other than you just wanting the house.
It's just a little too expensive for us to have to renew the lease because we don't have too much money. Besides, it's kind of a waste, isn't it? We can just live there for free. To add to all of that, if we didn't have to take care of your mom and all of her needs, I would have lived there way sooner. But now she's gone, so everything is solved.
Are you telling me that you were waiting around for my mom to pass away so you could hijack the house?
I wouldn't go that far, Kathleen, but the house is empty now. Let's just keep it at the whole situation has worked out in everyone's favor, okay? Because I don't want to have to pay for any more rent than I need to.
Why are you struggling that hard on my brother's pay? Isn't he working really hard?
What do you mean?
I know that he goes away on business trips a lot for sure, but I know that he gets compensated for his trips accordingly. If you just live a regular life, you honestly shouldn't even have to worry about anything and be able to save money while you're at it. Why are you in such dire debt to where you can't even renew your lease? I don't understand how you could be struggling that desperately for money.
That, Kathleen, has nothing to do with you at all. You need to mind your own damned business, do you understand me?
You know, Sandra, normally I'd be inclined to agree with you. But this time, you're trying to move into my house without any kind of permission, and you're telling me to leave. So, I want to know what is draining so much money from your house to the point where you can't even renew your lease.
A lot of things cost a lot of money, Kathleen. Things you wouldn't even understand. We have a kid, They can be really expensive. Whatever, if you live with Carl and I, you'll understand what it's like to live with a kid. Maybe then I wouldn't need to explain anything. I feel kind of bad now that you mention it, though, asking you to leave the house immediately. Maybe I can reconsider my whole idea of just kicking you out. If you want to stay with us while we're there, you can stay with us. I'm going to be taking the biggest room of the house, though, just so you know. And you'll have to be taking care of Carl for me, so good luck with that, okay?
I just called my brother and had him check up on everything, but, he said that he was checking his bank account from his phone, and apparently all of his checking accounts are bone dry. Care to explain what's going on, Sandra?
What? His phone? You can check your bank account using your phone without going to the bank?
Yeah, you can check through online banking apps nowadays. How did you not know this? He was just letting you handle all of his finances up until this point. He never really checked his accounts or anything because, he trusted you with his money. But he said that you've been acting way too suspicious recently, so he wanted to check up on everything. What have you been using all of the money on exactly?
I haven't used any of the money, nothing special anyway. Whatever, we're gonna be moving into the home and that's that. You understand and agree to this and there will be no arguing, understand?
Okay, so that means that you will be buying the house and taking it off my hands. Am I correct in my interpretation of what you're suggesting?
Excuse me? What are you talking about, Kathleen? Why are you saying that I'll be buying the house? It's literally my house to begin with, so I can't buy it off of you. I'm not gonna be spending a single penny to buy anything off of you.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but I've already put in all of the paperwork to sell the house to someone. If you want the house that badly, Sandra, you'll have to do it the right way with all the paperwork going through the real estate agent. But to be honest with you, Sandra, I'm not sure about this. This house kind of seems a little too big for you to be living in all alone.
What are you talking about living alone? I'm gonna be living in that house with Charles and Carl. We're all gonna be there. You can actually live there for a short little while if you'd like, Kathleen.
Actually, my brother just told me he has no intention of ever living with you anymore.
What?
I'm telling you that he said that after he gets back from his business trip tomorrow, he's going to be talking to his lawyer about all of this. He apparently intends to be divorcing you, Sandra. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
What are you talking about, Kathleen? He would never keep such an important thing from me.
There's absolutely no reason that he would be talking to me through you, especially not about something that important. He hasn't said anything to me about anything either.
I mean, maybe he really wasn't messaging you because he was busy messaging me, but the message that you sent my brother a little while ago, maybe you should recheck who you're sending that to.
What message?
The message you intended to send to your partner that you're having an affair with? You've made a mistake somehow and managed to send it to my brother instead. My brother just sent me this photo a second ago and showed me what he saw. I'm going to be over to your bar again, Kenny. You just hang out there for me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to secure the house real soon, too. That's totally talking to someone you're having an affair with, right? There's no real wiggle room there.
I totally made a mistake. Please delete that photo. You really don't need to be sending me anything. You shouldn't be sending me crap like that anyway.
Yeah, okay, whatever. You've really screwed up this time, haven't you? Just so you know, my brother seemed to have his suspicions already. This kind of just nailed the coffin. He was already having you investigated by a private investigator.
Wait, is that true? You're totally lying, right? None of this is real.
So apparently with this whole moving thing, and the fact that you've used up so much money that you don't even have money to renew the apartment lease, I'm pretty sure he was fed up and decided to just get a divorce right away. This was the last straw.
This is all a misunderstanding, don't you get it? I'm literally not having any kind of affair. It's just a bar that I go to often because it's a nice little bar. He just happens to work at that bar, don't you understand?
Oh, come on. Let's be real. It's one of the bartenders that work there, right?
What? I mean, yeah, it is, but if anything, we're more like friends than anything. We get along like friends and nothing more than that. Sure, it was a little more than just as a regular customer, but...
So in other words, you had a bartender sweet talk you and woo you into going back to his bar regularly, right? You don't seem to want to admit that you're just another customer at this bar, but it sounds like you don't want to even admit that you're being fooled and used by this bartender.
I'm not being fooled. What are you talking about, Kathleen? Once we move into that house you're holding on to oh so dearly, we're going to be living together. Eventually, that's the story anyway.
Ah, so that was your real intention. Now it all seems to make sense. And to add to everything, you finally admitted all this.
Wait, hang on just a second, Kathleen.
You can't just delete it now. It's too late for that. I've already sent everything that you sent me to my brother.
What? What the hell? What is it with you siblings and sending everyone and each other screenshots?
Anyway, none of this is relevant to me, like you so kindly said earlier. If you want to buy this house and live in it, you're going to have to go through my real estate guy and his agency to buy it at full price. It's not my brother's at all. I own it outright. The whole house is in my name. And even if it were to belong to my brother somehow, I'm pretty sure he's dead set on getting a divorce, so I don't think it matters anymore anyway. Would you agree with me, Miss Sandra?
What are you talking about, divorce? Charles isn't answering his phone at all. What the hell is going on here?
I don't think he wants to talk to you right now, Sandra. He's probably pretty fed up with you. Anyway, Sandra, we're strangers now. We have nothing to do with each other at all. So if you don't mind, could you stop messaging me or calling me, please?
Please don't be like that, Kathleen. Come on, we're great friends. You could help me out and be the middleman between my husband and I. We were basically sisters, you and I. We were super close.
You leave Carl all alone at night and go out to a bar. Not only that, but you flirt and sleep with the bartender. I definitely don't want someone like that thinking that she's my sister, even if she is an in-law.
I never left him alone at night. I didn't do any of that.
You understand everything is pretty much already figured out, right? And that everything you've been doing can be considered child neglect and abuse? Of course, I'm going to do everything within my power to make sure that my brother will be having full custody of Carl. You just need to be ready to pay for any and all damages you may owe my brother and any child support he's going to be asking of you. I think it's in your best interest to do that right now while you still have a place to stay.
I've already contacted the movers, though. I can't just take it back, right? Ugh, what should I do, Kathleen? I don't know what to do.
How about you just move away then? You're going to be getting a divorce anyway, right? I hope you don't struggle too much to find a new house that you can live all alone in. Alright, goodbye, Sandra. I won't miss you, you selfish ex-sister-in-law. Charles went to the lawyers as soon as he finished his business trip and made it back home. He started on the paperwork and discussions for moving the divorce forward. He was already gathering all of the necessary evidence for the divorce, apparently. Sandra was in a situation where there was no chance in the world that she would be able to talk her way out of this one. After he was easily able to prove that she was guilty of child abuse and neglect, she lost all chances of any parental rights over Carl. Not only that, but she was sued for damages. Charles moved into a brand new house with Carl. Sandra, on the other hand, was unable to move at all because she ran out of money. She went back to her parents' house, but she was eventually chased out of her parents' house as well. Right now, she's living at her part-time job's dorms and trying to pay off all the damages she was ordered by the court to pay off.
Hey, Tracy, I'm going to be getting married. Did you know that? Huh? No, I had no way of knowing about that, Naomi. And to be honest, I'm not really bothered by you getting married. Really? I know you're jealous of me now. But I can understand that since you are 30 years old now and still a single woman, I'm sure hearing about me getting married before you must break your heart. I guess you should have been more aware that women are supposed to get married in their 20s. I really don't care about what's going on with you, so can you just get on with saying what you have to say? And since I'll be getting married, I'm going to take a very long time off work to become a wife. Maybe even for the rest of my life. Is that so? Good for you then. So this is just you trying to rub your marriage in my face then, right? Well, I'm in the middle of work, all right? So I'm going to get right back to it now. Really? I knew that an old woman like you had far better things to do than be a wife. But listen, you can take just a little bit of your time to continue staring at your phone and talking to me, right? I mean, you've already wasted this much time looking at your phone, right, old lady Tracy? Would you please not call me old lady Tracy? That is very rude coming from someone like you. What? But what I'm saying about you is very, very true, right? After all, you happen to be the oldest woman in this department here. And from what I've heard, starting next year, you're going to be transferred to a new department, right, old lady Tracy? Congrats to you then. I'm sure this is you moving up in the company, right? You must be so proud of yourself. Are you done saying everything that you've wanted to say? If that's so, then I'm not going to waste any more of your time like you've done with me, and I'm getting back to work. That right there is the reason why everyone hates you. You're a cold-hearted supervisor who doesn't care about any of us. Excuse me? I'm just saying that everyone in this department hates you, Tracy. Your character is horrendous, and you like to have fun bossing us all around. I'm sure that you're so happy to be getting a promotion, but from all of our perspectives, we are so thankful that the pile of garbage that was supervising us will be gone. Is that so? well, you all can go ahead and continue hating me. It's not going to change my thoughts. Sure. I keep acting like this isn't all going to your head right now. Well, I guess everyone is right about saying that you have pride so large that it dwarfs skyscrapers. And I'm sure that's why no man ever wants to marry you, right? And do you think you're safe finding a man when he might not even be aware yet just how stupid of a woman you really are? Huh? What did you just say to me? Don't you ever say that again to me. If you're going to try and make jabs at me like that, then I'm going to tell all the other employees hear what you're saying. Go right ahead then. Hey, Sam. I just happened to get my invitation from you to your wedding, but it turns out that you're going to be marrying Naomi?
Ah, that's right, actually. I've sort of known about how you and she are working in the same company. But well, I didn't want either one of you realizing that. And so, I kept you being my older sister a secret from her. And I didn't want to say anything to you about how I want to marry her. But now that I think about it, the company you're working for is really big. So I'm sure you both have never really met before, right?
We are both in the same department, and she happens to sit in the desk next to mine.
What? Are you kidding me? Then that must mean you feel that way about her since she's in the same department as you.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Well, how should I word this? Well, she happens to be a lot younger than you there.
Ah, I see. So you must have heard some things from her about her position? Well, you don't have to choose your wording wisely with me. You can go ahead and tell me whatever you have to say about things.
Well, she told me about an older woman in her department that's being really strict with all the younger women that are younger than her, and that this older woman has been kind of a bully, really. And, she said that this older woman is in her 30s now, but is still single, and so, because of that, she happens to like picking on the younger women because she's jealous of them. And she finished by basically calling this woman, who I think is you, a really horrendous witch that has her underwear in knots.
So Naomi has started to talk about me that way, huh? She really thinks that I enjoy picking on the younger women in the department because I'm jealous.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she was just joking about half those things. But well, she also told me that you happen to run into the younger women in the hallway and shove them aside, and when they're working, you'll yell at them for drinking any kind of beverage.
She's the one running into me when I'm walking in the hallway, actually. And when it comes to her drinking during work time, she has a capped bottle she'll bring in filled up with vodka. I can tell it's vodka just by the smell it gives off every time she opens it up to take a sip. I've asked her about it before, yet she never admitted to it being alcohol.
What? But Naomi would never do anything like that.
And if that wasn't enough, she also really loves calling me Old Lady Tracy. And she'll ask me time and time again if I have a man yet. And if this will be the year I get married. Work is not the place for that kind of talk, especially when she asks such things in a very rude manner.
Are you sure? You're sure this isn't just one of the other women at work that you might have Naomi confused with? I mean, you and Naomi aren't even that distant in age, right?
I have no reason to mistake who you're talking about as anyone other than Naomi. She sits at the desk right next to mine, so I'm very aware of who she is. Well, I'm sure from your point of view, you don't want to believe what I'm saying to you, but I'm telling you the truth when it comes to how she acts around me in the office.
I'm sorry. Well, this isn't me doubting you or anything you've been saying, but I've never seen Naomi act in any way that resembles what you've told me, so I just can't trust what you're saying at the moment.
And that makes sense to me. I'm sorry for saying things like this to you after already having chosen the woman you want to marry and finding your true happiness.
Well, I happen to think a lot of things about Naomi, and so...
I know that. Do you mind keeping what we've spoken about here a secret from her? Please?
Huh? But...
I'm asking you to please not say anything to her. I still have a lot of time left to this year where I have to be in the same department as her, and I don't want to end my time in this department hearing all kinds of rumors about her and I.
Well, you have a good point there. All right. I won't tell her anything about today for the time being. However, you still plan to come to our wedding, right?
Well, of course I'm coming. But, of course, when I come, she's going to find out who I am.
It'll be alright. I'm just happy to hear you're still coming. I want to make this a really amazing wedding for everything, so please, never change your mind about coming. And by the way, I'm looking forward to your wedding too.
Now you're going to start going on about me getting married or not?
I'm sorry. That was just a joke. Now, I'll be seeing you at the wedding.
Was the person that I just happened to pass by really you, old lady Tracy? Why are you at an event like this? Ah, well, there's a little something about that. What do you mean, a little something? You weren't even invited to this wedding, so why are you here? And you're here a lot sooner than most of the other guests that are coming, right? I haven't even seen any of the guests I've invited come in yet. Ugh. I knew this would start to be a pain in the butt for me, so I was trying my hardest to hide from you. So you're trying to tell me you wanted to sneak into my wedding without ever being noticed? I cannot believe what I'm hearing from you. Did you really want me to invite you as though you were one of my friends? Ugh. Can you just leave it? Why do I have to be the one to shut up? You're the one that decided to come to my wedding when I never asked for you to be here. Well, it's been a little bit, so I want to have a chat with you now. I have some time yet until my wedding starts as well, you know. That's right. I guess since the both of us are already here and things have come this far, we should have that chat. Right? Well then, let's go and meet in the lobby of this resort. Now, tell me again why the hell you think I'd want an old dominating lady like you here. You weren't even asked to come to this event, so stop fooling around with me. What is this? You wanted to have a chat with me, and the moment I walked up to you, you poured wine all over me? You should be thankful that was the only thing I chose to do to you today. To be honest, I really, really, really wanted to kick you in the butt and drag you out of here. It wouldn't have been the wine that was red, but your blood had I gone all out with you. Why are you getting so upset right now? You know the reason why. You are messed up in the head. And it's not just me that thinks that, but everyone else that works in the same department as you. None of us even want to see you when we go into work, so what makes you think we'd want to meet you at my wedding of all places? You really have a lot to say. Also, did I just see you talking with Sam a bit ago? You thinking just because you're an old lady, you can have a chance to come here and steal the groom is completely insane. Do you lack every little bit of common sense or something? Unbelievable. No, there's a reason behind that. I don't want to hear any of your excuses. I want you out of this place right now before the rest of my friends from work show up. You being here is causing me all kinds of stress, and it will piss them off as well. I never asked for an old dominating woman to be at my wedding. And you sure are not going to be talking to my groom ever again. Well, he's my little brother. Huh? Why are you trying to use some stupid excuse like that on me now? Well, go and ask one of the wedding planners here about me. Ask them what the name of the groom's older sister is that will be giving a speech today. Sure thing. I'm going to give them a call right now and ask. Really? I can't wait to start talking to all the others at work about what you've been up to this time. Hey, come on now. It was just a simple joke, all right? I just wanted to see what would happen with you today. I knew you were Sam's sister this whole time, but just wanted to mess around with you a little. And here we go. The moment the tables turn, you run and try to hide behind calling all of this a joke. Well, I've always thought of you as a wonderful woman, Tracy. And since you're always so wonderful, I became a little bit jealous of you, and that led to me spilling that wine all over you and your dress. Look, that wine is expensive stuff, so you should be happy to see it being used on you. What difference does the wine being expensive or not make? Well, Well, I'm sorry about that then. Listen, Tracy, none of this was really meant to be serious. I was just fooling around a little with you since you're my older sister-in-law. So you think by changing your attitude towards me just like that, I'm going to be able to forgive you? Well, I'm sure it won't be that easy for you, but, I am praying that you have it in your heart to forgive someone like me. And, by the way, are you really Sam's older sister? Can you tell me why your last name is different from his? Well, that's because I've been married to another man for a while now. What? I got married right before I entered the company I'm working for at the moment. The marriage took place when I was in my final year of college, actually. And that is why most of the people in the company who work around me believe that I'm still single because they've never heard of me getting married while they've known me. But I'm not single. I've been married for what's almost going to be a decade now. Ah, is that so? Then, what was your original last name? I had the same last name as Sam, Irving. Are you serious? Well, if that's the case, that means I am so very sorry for a lot of things that happened. You think we're still at the point now where you can apologize and everything will be back to normal for you so easily? That dress I was wearing that you spilled the wine on, it is totally ruined now and all wrinkled up, so I'm going to have you pay for it. I'm completely fine paying you back for that dress. I'm more than glad to pay you for that. And you can even make that legal by having a lawyer get involved in everything if you'd like. After all, I'm sure you don't want me getting away with anything now after all the rude things I've done to you before even today. It's interesting that you had a whole excuse made up for all those rude things that you've been saying to me. Yeah, I'm very sorry. I promise to make this apology as wholehearted as I can. So, right. I'm sure that you have been wanting for the two of us, especially me, to sweep all that's happened under a rug and act as though it's never happened, right? Well, if that's not a problem with you, that would be very kind. Right now, we're supposed to be getting ready for our wedding. And as you know, there will be a lot of people here today wanting to see me as happy and pure as I can be before I'm wed to my husband. And if everyone that plans on being here today were to hear about the true me and what I've done, well, that might lead to some very bad things happening, especially to me. What are these bad things you're speaking of? You think that I care about how your actions are going to affect you? Listen, the moment you spilled the wine on me, I could see Sam out of the corner of my eye, and he saw what you were up to. Huh? Are you telling me that he saw what I had done to you? Yeah, he was even looking me right in the eyes as you poured that wine glass on me. I thought he'd come right up to us after seeing something like that happen to his sister by your hands, but then he turned around and walked away. I'm going to guess that what he saw was too much for his own eyes and that it was so shocking that even his heart needs time to think. Wait, that's not good at all. That's totally not good for me. He needs to understand that this was all a huge misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? Hey, Sam, where are you right now? I was looking all over for you, but couldn't find you anywhere. What you saw just a bit ago was all a huge misunderstanding, you know? I just happened to run into your sister is all.
You think I've misunderstood what all of that was about?
Yeah. Look, you know that both Tracy and I are working for the same company, right? Her and I are both very close friends in the office, and we happen to love messing with one another by pouring drinks all over the other's head and body.
Then why, while that was all happening, were you screaming at Tracy? I heard you saying she wasn't invited and that she's an old lady. I never thought that my Naomi would ever use that kind of language towards my older sister, or towards anybody in a negative way.
No, that was just a simple joke is all.
Is that right? So, you must think I'm such an idiot that I'd be able to believe in the most simple and weak excuses like the one you just told me there.
I'm being honest. Believe me.
This isn't going to work. I saw everything that happened there. And also, I've heard about all of this from Tracy herself. About the kind of person you really are deep down.
Who I am deep down?
I've known for a while now that you've been telling me about how you're being bullied by the old woman sitting at the desk next to you at work, right? But according to what my sister has said about you, you're the one who's been saying awful things and picking on her. At first, I wanted to believe what you've been telling me, more than what Tracy was saying. But after what I just saw, I've made up my mind. I can't do this any longer.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean you can't do this any longer?
I'm sorry about this, but the wedding is being canceled now.
What? Wait, that right there is not okay. Like, my family is going to be here as well, right? You have to see that by canceling my wedding, they are going to become so sad.
Well, you've already made myself and my family very sad by pouring wine all over my sister and her dress like that while screaming at her.
But that was...
Don't be worried about a single thing. I'm going to go to both your mom and dad and explain to them what has happened here today. And as for the cancellation fees, I'll be paying for half of them. I think that's a fair way of handling all this. Don't you?
No way. I do not want my wedding to be canceled over something like this. It's not just my family, but all of my friends and a lot of my coworkers as well from work who are coming to see our wedding. If the wedding is canceled on the same day, then I'm going to be completely embarrassed and will never be able to show my face again.
You say that, but from what I've noticed, not a single one of those friends or coworkers that you invited have come to the wedding yet.
What?
However, a lot of the guests I've invited today are already here and are patiently waiting for a wedding that's not going to happen now. When it comes to your guests, besides your parents, I haven't seen anyone else.
Huh? You're lying. Why would none of them come? I went ahead and invited friends from back when I was in college and made sure to invite all of my coworkers from my department as well. Could this be all because of her?
Her?
Hey! What you've done this time has gone way over the line. I invited pretty much everyone in our department, but not a single one of them has shown up to the wedding yet. You did something to keep them all from coming, right? Huh? What are you going on about now? Stop playing dumb here. I don't give a dang how much you hate me. What you've done today was totally not called for, and I am pissed. This is supposed to be the day of your little brother's wedding, and you thought it would be all right to keep half of the guests away from it? You're the worst. Wait, you have it all wrong. I wanted all of your friends and coworkers to come, actually. But they all told me that they had no plans of coming to your wedding. Huh? What do you mean? Well, this happens to be my brother's wedding, and I wanted as many people as possible coming to celebrate it. But when I was at work and went up to everyone asking if they'd be going, all of them replied by saying they were afraid of you. So I gave up on trying to get them to come because I could see they had no interest. I didn't set any of this up, so stop saying that. You're telling me that everyone had the same idea of not showing up to my wedding, and that's why they're all not here? It wasn't their idea, but rather their reactions to everything you've been doing. None of them wanted to be here today because of you. And I don't blame them. You always went around the office all day bragging to them about how you'd be getting married and even belittled some of them. And any of the ones that are married, you started to make fun of their husbands. I don't think a single one of them are your friends anymore, Naomi. Are you sure? That's a little bit unbelievable to me. This isn't just about your marriage either. You always are on your phone when at work, and you will always have one of them doing your work for you. Everyone was so happy to hear from you that you plan to leave the company for a long time. You're kidding. Why would they be happy about that? I get that I wasn't often talked to by any of them while in the office, but that's just because everyone else wanted to be like me and thought of me as the popular kid at work. You can stop thinking crap like that about yourself anytime now. You need to come back to reality and change the way you've been behaving. If you keep acting like a high schooler while at work and even outside of work, nobody is going to like you. Not even your family. No, there's no way. There's no way in hell anyone would hate me like you're saying. You're just lying to me in order to make me feel like I've lost. You're the one behind all that's happened. You tried to make everyone look as though they hate me. And this is all because I'm young and beautiful and you're jealous of that. You really have no right saying things like that about me when not a single one of your guests have not shown. And I'm glad for them because once again, you're trying to make it seem as though I'm the one who's jealous of you and like I'm the one who caused all of this to happen. But really, all your coworkers and all of your friends know better than to come see more of you when you're acting like a freaking child. Nobody wants to see the wedding of a child, Naomi. Shut up! You're the one that should be in trouble for this. It's because of you that the biggest event in my life has gone to complete crap. I'm going to make you pay for all of this. Make me pay for what? Would you just stop it with this immature behavior? Shut the hell up. I'm going to make you wish you never worked in the same company as me.
Tracy, I'm so sorry about today.
It's fine, Sam. And let's be honest, it was kind of entertaining seeing the bride be taken out of this wedding by the police, right? That's not a normal occurrence. I'm sure this was a good experience for all of us to learn from as well.
I'm sorry. I didn't think she'd be the type to become even more enraged and try to attack you like that. I'm glad the security guard was there to grab her like that. But what if she had gotten close enough to hurt you?
And this is why I was telling you everything about her before. She's a crazy witch.
I see that now. I should have believed you long before today then. But really, back then, I was completely in love with Naomi.
You don't have to defend yourself. It's totally in your rights to defend her, since she's your wife after all. But hey, I'm happy you were finally able to see the true Naomi today. You would have started having to live with her here soon, so things would have been a lot harder on everyone had you not noticed before then.
Right. Thank goodness. Tracy, thank you for all of this.
I haven't really done anything, though. Also, you happen to have an after party to get to now, right? You should go be with your guests.
Well, this is a good place after all. So I suppose it would be right to at least experience the party. And I also don't want to go back home now either, since I'm sort of in a bad mood.
Well, you should go enjoy that party then. Have a good time, all right?
Wait, are you not going to come and party? I want you to be there.
No, my husband and I plan on heading home now. You never invited an old, dominating lady to be at your wedding, right? After being taken into custody by the police that day, Naomi was able to get out of their hands come evening. But even though she was no longer being held in the county jail cell, she was still going to need to pay for the fines she got from the wedding, as well as for the cancellation fee and my ruined dress. All of that stacked up pretty well and led to her having to borrow a lot of money. Naomi had also quit her job the day before her wedding and assumed she'd never need to go back to the office again. But now, with no job and with no man who wants to be around her anymore, her pride has taken a massive hit. And because of that, she's moved back home to her parents' house where she's been hiding away in her room. Both of her parents were kind enough to not throw a woman like that out of their house, and they both believe they can fix her in some way. So these days, Naomi has been sticking close to her parents' house, doing part-time work in order to save up some money and pay off her debts. I find that she fell a long ways down from the belittling jerk that she once was. And since she can no longer hold herself to the standards she thought she had, I think I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of respectable woman her parents can turn her into. As for Sam, he's been saddened by everything that happened and by the fact that he had to leave his wife so soon. But recently, he started to hang out with this new girl, which has me a little worried because she might be just as bad as Naomi. However, I'm going to pray that that's not the case, and that this new woman he's pulled in is a proper adult and has a heart too. When it comes to myself, I was able to move into that new department as a supervisor and am now working toward the next promotion that I'm hoping I'll get.
Marcus, you're getting home late yet again today. Just a second ago, I tried to give your office a call, but they told me that you had already left for the day. Where are you right now?
I'm at the point now where I can't go on with you anymore.
Huh?
Tomorrow, I'm going to be handing in our divorce paperwork. So before then, can you sign it and help me hand it in? Actually, I've already spent a lot of the time filling it out, so can you just sign it and turn it in for me? You should have time to do that, right?
What kind of a joke is this? Today isn't even April 1st, so you can't be trying to fool me, right?
This is not a joke. I've come to realize that I just can't take being married to you anymore.
Can't take it anymore? Are you seriously telling me that you feel that way? Huh? Right now? You can't take any more of me at this time? You are aware that in another month or so, I'm going to be having our baby, right? Aren't you ready to finally become a father like you always wanted?
No.
Huh? So you're really going to tell me that you want out of all of this right now? That's all really screwed up. What am I going to do if you divorce me? Where do you plan to go off to?
I'm gonna go off somewhere to where I'm happy.
Yeah? And what is going to make you happy?
I have someone that I actually love now. So I'm gonna go to her and we're gonna start our new romance together.
When you say that, do you mean what I think you mean? Is this all happening with that one coworker of yours?
Huh? Why do you know about her?
I felt that for a bit now you've been going out with another woman. You've always made yourself look a bit suspicious, and so I already had a feeling of what that entailed.
What, you already suspected me of cheating on you? Well then, I didn't have to try that hard to hide her from you all that time then.
That is not what I want to hear from you right now. You have a wife at home that's been pregnant, and you choose to go out with another woman behind my back? That is beyond messed up, Marcus. So are you really going to leave me for her? Do you not feel any form of sorrow for doing that to me? I'm tired of having to be the one that has to go through all these hardships with you.
I'm not trying to make your life any harder, Ella. You're just gonna have to accept that things between us weren't working out and that you'll now have to raise that baby on your own. Good luck! I'm gonna go live a life where I'm free, so you can manage that child without me while I go achieve that life. I'll at least give you the house and the divorce, so you should be happy for that.
This has always been my house, though, so of course I'm going to keep this place. I just cannot fathom that you want to throw me away at this bad of a timing. I will forgive you for cheating on me as long as you come back here and stay with me. What are we going to do to fix all of this?
You can figure that one out yourself. I no longer want anything to do with you.
The way you say that, does it not break your heart whatsoever? What will happen if you have to pay a settlement for cheating on me, or have to pay for child support?
I'm going to ignore you after this, so don't expect a dime from me.
That will not go over well for you. I think you should stop all that nonsense and just come back to me and our baby.
I don't like you anymore, Ella, and I couldn't care less about that baby as well. Alright, good luck on your own. Make sure you have that divorce paperwork handed in by tomorrow. I want to hurry things up and get married as soon as possible to my new woman.
You're the worst. I'm not going to let you run away from this so easily.
How are things going with my house?
Excuse me, but who am I speaking to?
It's me? Me? There's no way you don't know who I am. So, can you tell me how my house is doing? Don't tell me that you've sold that place or anything like that, right?
Your house? What are you talking about now? And another thing, why are you talking to me after 12 years have gone by? You were the one that threw me away back then, and you left with another woman from your work to get married. So having a message come from a jerk of a man 12 years later is shocking to me.
I'm not your average man is all. Now, tell me how my house is?
When you say your house, are you talking about the one that we lived together back when we were married?
That's right, my house.
That isn't your house, lol. And when you talk about that house, I'm still living in it.
Huh? You're still living in my house? You're not supposed to be living in that house anymore! You get out of there right now!
Get out of my own house? What are you talking about? Even if you start to get pissed off with me and try to boss me around, I'm not going to be leaving this house.
You still living in that house without my permission is the same dang thing as you trespassing on my property.
Really? It looks like you might have hit your head on one too many things there, buddy. Do you need to go to the hospital or something? I knew you were pretty screwed in the head back when we were together, but I would have thought that after 12 years, that would have healed by now. Have you gotten to the point now where you can't even comprehend the words around you anymore or what you say?
What happened 12 years ago doesn't matter anymore. Back then, things were tough for me.
Things were not tough for you, but me, right? I mean, I was carrying our kid at the time, but you never seemed to care about it. It's been years now, so you'd think that asking how the kid is after so long, or some question similar to that would be normal, right? Well, it's not like you have to ask me that because I won't tell you a thing about them.
All right now, hurry up and get out of my house! If you don't leave that place soon, I'll have to come there and force you out. Do you want me to become violent with you?
Come on, calm down a bit there, lol. This is not your house.
All you're doing is living there uninvited now. I'm going to live there again starting today, so you get out.
Oh? Even though I don't believe you can live here anymore?
Even after I moved out of there, you really thought it was okay to live there without me knowing? I guess I don't mind any of that, but today I'm moving back in with one of my lady friends, so get the hell out!
Even though this house is under my name?
What?
From the start of us living here, my name has been on this house. So what do you mean this is yours? What made you think that this house was ever yours, Marcus? Lol.
Your name is on that place? There's no way.
Says the guy that left me for no good reason after us having a baby together and everything, and just vanishing for 12 years. And now after that long, you're back telling me a bunch of crap. That doesn't make any sense. Are you sure you didn't hurt your head really badly?
You really want to keep saying I'm crazy? That's very rude of you.
I'm being honest. I'm not sure what it is with you that makes you think that you can boss me around, but this house is under my name.
Shut up. I already know the truth. I know that house is my house, and right now I need a house to live in. So I'm coming back to live in my house.
Even though it's been over a decade since you threw me away, you're still the same old Marcus. This house is under my name and it always has, so you don't have any rights when it comes to what I do with my house. If you do try to get into my house, I'll have the police here in minutes.
The police will only come to you if the house is owned by you.
But this is my house, and you're the only one too delusional to agree on that. This all happened a while back now, so I'm sure you totally forgot about all of it. But if that's the case that you cannot remember, maybe you're better off just leaving me alone and moving on. Because if you try to move back into this house, you'll only be doing yourself more harm than good.
I'm coming to get my house back whether you like it or not. Even though you think you can get away with stealing it from me.
At this point, you're so confused that I might have to call the old folks home and have them come pick you up, lol. I think it's best you don't come around here. You'll only make yourself regret things more if you do. I really have no clue why after 12 years, you think you can come back here. But it's been far too long for you to be talking to me again when you have that woman of yours, right? If that coworker is still around, then you both should try buying or renting a house for yourselves like proper people. Well, that's only you have the funds to do so, right?
Coworker? I don't remember anything about a coworker.
Oh?
The woman I'm with now is a lady friend I met 3 months ago, and I'm starting to think about marrying her now. And she wants us to have a house together, so I was planning on giving her that house as a present. I can't be asked to buy any other place right now, so I want you out of my old house.
Jesus, Marcus. Lol, you threw me out like that coworker meant the world to you or something, yet you can't even remember who they are now? I suppose it's because of your poor memory that you can't even remember whose house this is. But I'll remind you that this is my house, so stop trying to get me out of it. And if you come to my house, you'll only make things worse, so stay the hell away. I already told you, right? You'd regret coming here. But you still couldn't trust my words and barge into here, and now you have to pay for it. You had to meet my husband without being invited.
What the hell is going on? Tell me! Why the hell was a trap set up like that in the yard? I was just trying to get back to my house. What do you mean your husband?
It's not strange for me to have found another man and marry him, right? It's been 10 years now, and I've been married to my husband.
What? Why didn't you tell me anything about that?
Huh? Why should I have to tell my brain-dead ex-husband about my life? Lol. My daughter doesn't need to know about her screwed-up dad either. So that's why I made sure to never talk to you again, so that you never come back here.
I don't understand how you got married again, but what is up with this trap?
My husband is a bit of a protective man, and he works for a security company, so he decided to have some traps installed around the house to keep us safe. Lol.
Huh? He works for a security company?
Yeah, and we have a house with a young girl in it, so making sure that this house is secure from people like you is very important. And so, my husband made sure to put all kinds of traps. So of course someone that isn't supposed to be here would be caught in one of our traps. Lol.
Come get me out of here and let me go. This is my dang house after all.
You're being a dick. This is the house that I put my name down on and paid for all the loans. You never wanted to be the one to take up the responsibility of owning that house, so I had to make sure this place didn't go under. You're an adult, but mentally, you don't have the fortitude to be able to keep up with any payments, right? And you're what now? In your 40s, right? I think it's time you calm down and think for a second. Lol.
And to calm down, I wanted to get my house back. I planned on bringing my super young girlfriend here so that her and I could have a nest to make babies in. I was changing my life for the better this time.
You say that a lot, don't you? Yet every time you try to change your life around, you only fall even harder. Lol.
Shut up! Go ahead and tell me what kind of amazing life you have right now. I'm sure you're in the same spot as me going through all these problems.
I have been raising my daughter that you threw away 12 years ago all by myself. And now she is 12 years old.
Huh? Right. She is around that age now, huh?
And not just her anymore, but I have 2 more kids that I had with my husband, making it 3 now.
That many?
I raised 3 kids here with the help of my husband now, and still have a career outside of home. I think that I've been doing pretty dang well for myself after being thrown away by you, but...
Can you at least give me back that house?
This house is my family's house. But if you really want this house from me, why don't you come and buy it? Well, of course, that depends on your situation. But I'm sure by the way you've been acting, you don't have the money to. Lol.
Back when I left you for that other woman, I had gotten into some hairy business and lost a lot of my money. And since then, I've been having trouble finding any more work, and so my life has been really rough. But finally, after so long, I finally got a job as a full-time employee again and could start bringing in more dough. And along with that, I've got myself a really young chick. So you should be okay with giving me that house. Actually, before we get to that, come and let me out of this trap!
I don't give a crap about all you just told me. Lol. I don't care about what kind of troubles you've been through or what jobs you have right now, nor about any girl you're with. You have no right to that house I own, so stop trying to get it from me. Also, if you wouldn't have come, none of that would have happened to you. But now that we have you, I'm going to call the police and ask them what to do with you.
Huh? What? The police?
Of course.
But I'm not doing well right now. I'm the one who's had a rough life ever since we got divorced, and so I'll have you sued for this.
If you really want to do that, you're more than welcome to. But I don't think you'll be able to find yourself a lawyer that'll help you, and any case you make that's brought to court will be dropped immediately.
Why do you say that? Do you not care about the harm you put me through?
That trap is only there to stop those that trespass.
What?
You're the one that broke through my fence and onto my property, right? So even if you're upset that you hurt yourself doing that, nobody's going to care about you, lol. I'll tell you right now, you screwed around and found out today.
Are you kidding me? You're messed up in the head for making me go through this. Are you seriously that mad still about what happened 12 years ago?
Well, immediately after what had happened, I was... But right now, I have 3 amazing kids with a loving husband, so I'm only happy. Because of you, I was able to leave you behind, and found that means to be a happy life. So thank you, lol.
What the hell? My life has been nothing but uphill battles.
And that's all due to you being a selfish prick, right? Lol. Now goodbye, you piece of garbage X. I hope that you try better after you get out that trap to fix your life. I think the police will be here soon for you. Make sure to explain to them what happened so that they can help you to get your head checked out. Lol. In the end, Marcus was taken into custody for trespassing and would be taken away in one of those police cars. And after all his hard work of getting that new job, the word of his arrest found its way there and he was fired by his manager. And that young girlfriend of his was disgusted by his actions and told him that they were through, which altogether ruined his mental health. He finally went back to his parents' house after almost 15 years and told them what had happened. And out of the kindness of their hearts, they got him a job at a really awful factory. And as of right now, he works from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day so that he can make as much money back to pay off all his debts, as well as pay his parents for allowing him back. I really don't understand why he went this far for something that was never even true, but I hope the consequences of his actions teach him that he got what was coming for him.
Is all of the construction coming along well over there? I'd like to get into that new house as soon as possible. It looks like it. I'd say to give the contractors a little bit longer and they'll have the new house ready for us. Really? So things are moving along pretty quickly. It's only been a month since they started to work on the house, right? Well, you've been asking for the house to be done ASAP, so I've been talking to the construction company and pushing them to get things done sooner rather than later. I see. So even you, who's pretty much useless to me, can still have your rare uses from time to time. We'll be selling the old house. That's fine with you, right? And that means you'll never have to go back to that old place anymore. I don't plan on going back to the old house anymore, but I do think we should wait a little bit before selling it. I think even after moving out of the place, we should still give ourselves a little bit of time to prepare the new house and get all of the things we want to out of that old place. But we'll be wasting money by holding on to that house longer. I want that place gone right now, if possible. If that's what you really want, Mom, then I'm not going to stop you. But let's just wait until we're able to move into this new place before selling that house. What is with you talking to me like that? Do you think you're in the position to be commanding your mom around like that? Wait, I wasn't commanding you to do anything, actually. I'm just giving my bit of input is all. Hoping that it might help the situation with selling the old house is all. Do you even realize that the job you work full-time is that of a janitor? Someone who works such a low-level job as that should not be giving me any form of input into my matters. Here we go again with you talking about me that way. The only reason I became a janitor in the first place is to help you out after losing Dad a while back. It was a rough time for you then, and I thought it was the right thing to do as your guys' daughter. At the time, the only job that was available was that of becoming a janitor, so that's the one I took. I didn't need any of your help then, but I'm finally around to having a brand new house built for me to live in. I'm very shocked to see that you, of all people, are able to buy land and a house with the kind of work you're continuing to do. I'm glad to see you doing something for me this time, finally giving me the real help I've needed. Well, as long as you're happy to be getting a new house, I'm happy. Now, from what I'm being told, by the end of the week, the house should be ready to go. I'm really looking forward to it. Carter, is what Mom was saying to me really true?
What is she saying to you?
About you moving in and living with her. You didn't mean any of that as the whole family all living in the house together, but rather just you and your family with Mom, right?
Well, of course that's what I meant. Mom has no reason to be living together with you in that brand new house. She despises every little bit of you, and I don't blame her.
Despise me? So even you find it okay for her to look down on me like that?
Well, She's looked down on you for the longest time now, and so have I. But I have to admit that I'm pleased by you. Because if it weren't for all the work you've put in, I wouldn't be able to move into a newly built house with my mom. And I hear that there's a separate house being built as well.
A separate house? Did you really hear about everything from her? All you paid for regarding this house was the land.
I'm so glad I took out a loan for that. Now I'll be able to be back in the same house as her, and we can be one big happy family again. Of course, you're not going to be a part of that, right?
I see. Carter, you don't seem to understand any of what's going on with this new place then. Well, so be it. Mom happens to love you with all her heart, so it'll be perfect for you to come and live with her again. I really hope you guys are able to live happily together again. Somewhere, of course. I can see that the house is complete now. Both Carter and I came to see the place for ourselves. It's a bit smaller than what the two of us were thinking, but oh well. Now, you can leave the rest of the moving in to us, all right? What? What are you talking about, Mom? And actually, why have you and Carter gone to see the new house without me already? Wait, did we not tell you about this before? I've decided that I'll be living in this house together with Carter and his wife. What? Arya, I never planned on living together with you inside this brand new house you built for me. I'm sorry, but I want you to continue paying off the loan on this place, and then after you've done that, go find a home of your own to live in. So, wait, does this mean that this whole time you've been wanting to use me to get that house built for you, but never intended on actually letting me move in with you there? Well, you knew this was coming, right? Why do I have to let you come and live in my new house with me? I've gotten my new house from you now, so there's no more use being around you. Now, you and that low-level job you work can leave me for good. So you had me pay for that whole house for you just to say something like that on the day we should both be moving in there? You should have known something like this was coming, considering you're working such an awful job. Why are you so surprised by what I'm saying now? Did you actually think someone that works as a janitor could move into a newly built home? Arya, you're not like the rest of my family, and I mostly consider you a stranger. I have been working as a janitor in order to give you a new house and support a more relaxed life for you. That's why this whole time I've been working so hard with those contractors to have the house built. You've known about how much I've been saving up for this house, right? How many years it's taken me? And you did a fine job, beyond my expectations. But I never once said that you'd be allowed to come and live in this new house with me, right? I've always wanted to have my amazing son and his lovely wife move in here with me. Those two will be able to give me grandchildren as well, right? That will lead to a life where every day is wonderful for us. What? So it's for that reason that you're going to simply toss me aside now? Of course it is. I'm afraid that when you start needing money from us, you're going to latch on to all of us like some kind of blood-sucking leech and will never let go. So in order to avoid that possibility, I'm making sure we get rid of you right now. Get rid of me? What is wrong with you, Mom? But whatever, I guess. I understand how things are going to be now. I can finally understand what's been going on inside that head of yours. You must have always thought of me as some idiot that you could take advantage of, huh? I never said you were an idiot, but you might be onto something there. Now, I will thank you this one time for getting me a new house to live in with my beautiful son and his lovely wife. But I do want this house to only be for myself and his family, so you're going to have to stay away. All right, then. I'll get out of here right away. And never come back to the house again. That won't be a problem at all for me. I'm going to follow through with what you've asked from me and leave this place forever. Although I'm not really leaving the place because I never moved in to start with. So I'll make sure I don't have my things taken over there. But now that I feel pretty heartbroken by what's all happened here, I wonder if it'd be all right to just tear that place down? You know, that newly built house. Huh? Have you gone mad now? Stop talking about such a reckless thing. How about instead of going crazy and diving off the deep end, you go out and get yourself a real paying job? I can tear down that house, right? It's the house I had built after all. If you really think you could do such a thing, then go right ahead and try it. But you'll only end up realizing that your word means nothing in this world, and that nobody is going to care to listen to you. This is our house, after all. And once I've told Carter and his wife about how you're not around here anymore, they will be so pleased. This is all so great, isn't it? You were able to put all your life savings into making sure that me and my family are happy. Well, since you don't seem to mind me giving it a go, I'll be there tomorrow to have the house torn down. I hope you'll be looking forward to it. What are you planning on doing, Arya? Why would you start doing something like that? Are you completely screwed in the head or something? To actually come here and start tearing down my home? Did you never think that I'd actually show up here with the bulldozer and start having the house plowed down? How does it feel now to have the brand new house you wanted to call home fall into ruin in the blink of an eye? I had made sure to warn you and everything even. Warn me? I never once thought that you'd seriously be coming over here to destroy my house. To see the house that I had just started moving into be crushed into piles of broken wall and frames. Ah, and as a side note, I made sure to finish all the work of having Carter hand me the duty of paying off the loans on the house and land before the place was completed. What? I'm glad he and I worked on getting all of that done days in advance. I had this feeling before actually starting the construction on the place that you'd try to backstab me at some point. So I'm glad I talked with Carter about all of this before the house was completed. You were talking with Carter all this time? What do you mean? You just tore down a freaking house right in front of my eyes. Do you not realize that what you've done is completely mental? The only thing that seems mental to me is the fact that you planned on kicking the owner of the house out right after having the place built and instead have her brother and his wife move in with you. That's pretty messed up if you ask me. So don't start getting upset with me when you were the one who wanted to do crazy things that way from the start. What about what I did was mental? I just wanted to have Carter and his wife live with me and make things right. I don't feel comfortable living with someone who works a job like you're working. You would never be able to care for me in my old age like him and his wife can, right? Oh? Well, did you know that Carter is making a whole lot less than I am right now? What? That's why I was able to pay off that loan so easily for the house. After talking with Carter a little bit about what was going on with the new house, he told me it would be him and his wife moving into it with you and not me. So before the house was completed, I made sure that things like the loan for the house would be handled by me instead of him, and that the name on the place stayed mine. Are you surprised by all of this? So you're telling me that you paid for the house and everything? And even though you were the one who bought it all, you chose to destroy it? Do you think doing something like that is even remotely okay? You were the one asking me to go right ahead and try it, though. I was? What was I asking you to try? You said that if I thought I could tear down the house, to go ahead and try it. So that's why I went ahead and gave it all a try. Did I not hear you right or something when you said all that to me? Of course you didn't hear me correctly, and now you've really gone and done it. Why would you do something like this to me? Where are we going to be living at now? Well, you were never going to be living in that new house with me, actually. Huh? But the house was just finished being built and we had already started getting things ready to move in. Mom, do you really think that a house like that can be built so easily in 1 month? Both you and Carter don't seem to have any common sense. What are you talking about? What are you trying to say about the two of us? The only thing that Carter ended up buying was the land for the house. What? And the only thing I ended up putting on that land was a prefabricated home. Had you actually planned on having the whole family, including me, be moving into a new house on that land, I would have had a proper house built to hold everyone in it comfortably. Hold on a second. I'm not really sure what you're getting at here. But after hearing from Carter that you only planned on having him and his wife move in with you and were going to kick me out, well, I made up a plan to turn the tables on both of you. I thought that just having a big prefab house built on the land would convince you both, and it wouldn't cost me all that much money to do. And since I was the one that paid for it, I'm the one who has the right to tear it apart, right? I don't think you should be tearing something like that apart, though. So you're trying to tell me that the house you had built there wasn't meant for anyone to live in? The inside of that place was completely empty, right? There was no way anyone would be living in that house just yet. But of course, you guys thought all of that would work, right? And that's why you started to get ready to move in, right? And with what you told me yesterday, I was able to confirm that you were in fact not going to let me live there with you guys. And that I'd be forced to go out and buy my own house thereafter. So you're telling me that this was all a trap for me? You set me up for this? You are messed up for setting me up like that. I am your mother, aren't I? What kind of nerves do you have to be lying to your mother like that and setting her up to lose the house she's been waiting for? What was that? I believe it should be me asking you that instead of the other way around. Who was it that lied to me about us both moving into that house together, all while talking down to me because of the job I've been working? Let me ask one other thing. Do you consider yourself a good mother for doing something like that to your own daughter? I am your mother, so I'm allowed to do whatever I want with you. I see. That's quite the opinion you have there. But I guess I don't really care about what you think. I've chosen to cut ties to all of you after what's happened here. And you seem to have been wanting that exact same thing. So don't worry, as you are no longer family to me. Is that going to work for you? That is 100% okay with me. You're not my daughter anymore and never ever will be again. And that's because you just went and destroyed my dream home. That was your dream home? I guess not all of us happen to have the same expectations when it comes to homes then. It wasn't even a house at all though, really. It was just a prefab that I had placed on the land to test and see what you and Carter have really been up to. Of course, had you actually both gone ahead and made it look like you'd actually allow all of us to live in that house, then I was going to go ahead and build the house up properly. That prefab could have been used, and I could have had the contractors that I hired put in some real work to turn the place into an actual home. But the moment I told you the place was finished, you turned on me and said I was not to come live there with you guys. After hearing that from you, I knew what I had to do. What do you mean you knew what you had to do after hearing that from me? After hearing that, I knew that you and I couldn't make it work anymore. You think of me as nothing more than a stranger, and now I feel the same about you. And who cares about any of that now? It's over with. If you want to leave me and Carter behind forever, then go ahead and do so. But once you've left us, what are we going to do about a house? What do you mean? I've already gone and sold the old house. It's in the hands of the realtors now, and all I have left to do is clean the rest of my things out of it. Where am I going to live now? Well, before that house is completely sold by the realtors, you better find yourself a new house and fast. Go ask your favorite child to help you out with all of that as well. Actually, you've already gone and bought some land now, so why not build a place there? That's, of course, after you guys take out some loans to do so for the place. I was able to afford a prefab no problem, so why not start with something like that? Why is someone like you, who works as a janitor, able to afford more than Carter can? There is something wrong with all that. You are working one of the lowest jobs on the planet. Say whatever you like about the work I do. You have to remember that in Carter's case, he left his old job after getting married and used whatever money he had to pay for the wedding. And it's only been 2 years since then, and he's just gone now from being a contractor for the new company he's at to working as a full-time employee there. He's already taken out a loan to pay for the land that the house was going to be built on, so until he pays that off, don't expect much money to come from him. But unlike him in his situation, I've been working for 10 years now. Did you know that? What? It's been that long now? I've been the one taking my career very seriously, even with you making fun of my job as a janitor. But of course, I'm the one running the company that supplies janitors to companies, so it's not like I'm the one doing all of the dirty work. I happen to be a part of HR, as the leader, actually, and I'm the one that makes the calls on who's hired and who's not, as well as gives input into where we have the company go next. I'm able to make a lot of money, actually, even though you keep believing that I'm working a low-level job. I have to say this job has been very good to me, and I've never had to worry about money for the last 8 years. What? You're a janitor, but you don't clean or anything? Just because I'm working for a janitorial company, that does not mean I'm directly a janitor. Yes, I've worked as one for a few years, but after that, I started working in HR and moved up from there. I had no idea that's what was going on there. Are you trying to tell me that you're a regular office worker then? I wouldn't say regular. Like I said, I'm in charge of the HR department and have a say in a lot of things the company does. Just know that I'm probably making way more than Carter is and will ever make, most likely. I never knew about any of that. Why did you never say anything to me sooner? Shouldn't you be telling me things like that? Had I known about your real position in that company, I would have changed the way I talk and act around you. I really don't care about how you talk and treat me, Mom. You've always loved Carter way more than me and never once actually told me that you cared and loved me. It was very clear that you did not want to be bothered with me any, so don't try and make it seem like you would have done so now had you known I had money. I know about how when I told you I'd be building a new house for us two, you immediately called Carter and started talking with him about having him come live with you. Why do you know about all of that? I never said a thing to you about what I've been talking about with Carter. You must have forgotten the most important thing about your son, that he's a complete imbecile. Right after you started talking to him about your plans, he turned to me and told me all about it. Bragging about it, actually. About how you always choose to be around him and never me because you despise me, that sort of thing. Carter did all of that? Had I never heard anything about that from him, I would have never known that you were going to use me and kick me out the moment the house was ready. And that's why you talked with him about paying for the house? Had I never heard a thing from Carter, I would have let him pay for the land and house and just helped pay for the contractors and things like that. But after he told me everything, I said he could pay for the land with his loan and I'd take care of the house for him. And that's when I went out and bought that prefab to see how it would all turn out. Carter didn't even bother to question what I was doing there and just went along thinking it was all okay. He thought that me buying a prefab like that instead of having a proper house being built just meant that he was going to be getting a home for even cheaper. So you played both of us! I did? I was never playing you guys. Your son just happens to be a complete idiot. I told him my plans for the house, and instead of him questioning any of it, he just went on his merry way. And remember, I had tried to stop you from selling your old house so early. But you didn't care to listen to anything I was saying. I thought we'd be able to move into a new house, so of course I wanted my old place gone. Well, just know that I'm going to be all right after today. I went out and bought my own land and a house to have built on it. What? You did that without telling me anything? Without telling you? I don't have to tell you anything about myself. I'm an adult now, and that all has to do with my life. I'm sure that without a place to live now, you and Carter and his wife are going to be left on the streets. But that's what you all deserve, right? Good luck with that, you freaking toxic idiots. In the end, Arya went ahead and started to ignore anything that her mom and brother would say to her and focused all her attention on the new house she was having built in order to start her new life. However, for both her old mother and her stupid brother, they were both left with no place to live and had to move into an old, run-down apartment outside of town. Having to live in such a small and disgusting place together really began to stress out Carter's wife. And before long, she got a divorce from him and moved out to find a better man for herself. This then led to both Carter and his mom getting into fights every single day, all while there was barely any income, making each day feel as though they were pretty much homeless. I think that Arya made the right choice in setting her mother up for failure this way and saved herself a lot of trouble by getting her own place before making her final move.